So they asked Steve Kerr about it in the pregame presser, and he says that you know I have the most open locker room. I'm the most open coach in the NBA. You should come and talk to me if you have an issue. And then he also says, I played 15 years in the league, and I was frustrated all 15 years with playing time. Um, do y'all think he's sending subliminals or messaging to Jonathan Kuminga right there with those two messages?
I'm sorry. Repeat the messages. My fault. I was
He
looking up
says,
something.
I'm the most open coach in the league. Anybody can come into my office. You can speak to me anytime you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also says, I played 15 years, and all 15 I was frustrated with my playing time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's definitely
100%.
yeah. What yeah? Well, I don't even know how that's even going to be anything past surface level. Yeah, he's definitely making a not a like a diss, but that's definitely a dry statement of hey, if you're frustrated, come to my office. Because even then, outside of again wanting to go to like with Jonathan Kaminga, especially more than Moody, yeah, Jonathan Kaminga at this point, if he's frustrated, he's asking for more of the 30-minute night performances because he's pretty much getting what is it like 23 to 28 minutes a night, I want to say. I'll double check right now, but recently he's been playing more. So yeah, if he's mad of basically not getting starter minutes or even starting in general, yeah, you're gonna have to come to the office about that. Cause
No,
Yeah, 100%. The retweet. I don't want to just echo Sage,
no, he
but
good.
yeah. That was definitely directed right at him, and that was a good answer. I know Steve Kerr gets a lot of slack. Hell, I called him a terrorist during the USA games with his coaching style. I think he's
small
a Steph
ball
Curry
merchant.
merchant. Yeah, small ball merchant, benefit of Steph Curry, but I, he answered that the way you should have. It was a good answer. And he's 100% right in that situation. Talk to me if there's issue. Now, if this is some bullshit where this is not Kaminga's first time having this conversation, and he has talked to you, and it still led to him being frustrated, then all right, what are we doing here? Yeah, your office is open, but if you ain't listening, I'm not going to your fucking office.
Yeah, and I would like to know, this is the fan in me. I would love to know that conversation. Part of me feels like when they got drafted, and you got to remember when they got drafted, nigga, I mean, he won a ring in his first season. So part of me feels like they told him, hey, you're on a different timeline than your peers. You are not in a play now, get a lot of minutes now, get a lot of rep. No, you're not. You are on a, hey, we still have these guys here. Hey, we still think we can win a ring here right now. So your day in the sun might not come till 5 or 6 years down the line. And if you're okay with that, we're okay with drafting you. If you're not okay with that, say something now, because we're going to win games. We're going to compete for playoff games, seeding, all that stuff like that. You might play 6 minutes and get some DMPs 2-3 months in a row. And if you're not okay with that, that's perfectly fine. I also want to say, like, I think these guys have like a different mentality than what I would project an NBA player to have.
Yeah.
Do you want to be here for 15 years and catch a role real quick or something like that? Or do you want to try your hand at being a star on a team that wins 4 games a season, and then they're looking at you being inefficient because you can't shoot, you can't dribble, and then they're like looking at kicking you out of the league? What are we doing here?
Yeah, someone in chat just made a comment, or there's actually 2 comments I want to speak on. I'll start with the first one because it's more relevant to the current conversation. But yeah, I think at this point, to be honest, I'm not trying to gaslight Jonathan coming here, but he might even just be wanting exactly what you just said or what someone said about getting paid, because I'm looking at it now, and I'm not saying I've watched every Warriors game, but I've low-key watched a good amount now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. And I had to check it because I was like, his minutes have been increasing, right? In the first 20 games, one of the games he missed, he was inactive against the Pelicans. In the first 20 games that Jonathan Kuminga has played, he averaged 19 minutes. In the last 13, in one start. In the last 13, he started 11 times. And he's played 13 games, and he's averaging 26 minutes. So like I was initially saying, I don't know what Moses Moody is asking for, but if Jonathan Kuminga is still upset with a 7-minute-a-game increase, again, I'm not going to lie, Buddy wants to start. I'm not going to lie, but Buddy wants to start at this point. And at that point, we're asking what's the reason why he doesn't. And sure, that can be a concern because he is kind of like he's hooping a little bit, but he obviously has his deficiencies on the court. He's not that good of a shooter, definitely not that good of a shot creator. It's essentially another person that has to benefit from the glorious King Steph Curry, who we talked about doing a carry job, rivaling Dirk Ring in 2022, but then somehow that ideology has vanished from today. I don't know how, but it has. Stephen Curry is making a lot of motherfuckers look way better than they are. That's all I'm gonna say. But and they don't even look that good. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm honestly thinking that Kaminga really might just want that situation where, hey, bro, look, this is how good I truly am. Whether he can find out he's a number 1 option, a 2 option, 3 option, he might just want the max minutes, the optimized role, which is fine for an NBA player to have, I'll say, Omar. But in this situation, you don't want to hear it.
But what?
I'll say that.
Why can't that? But why can't that come in 5 years?
I'm gonna be honest. It's a lot of people, and I'm a young nigga myself, and I bet on myself all the time. That's probably just what it is. He's just betting on himself. Everybody views this roster as a bad roster. Everybody views this roster as a Curry carry, and he's like, shit, he ain't carrying me. So I can see how he has that mentality. Now, again, as I alluded to earlier, I don't want to hear that right now, especially from a young player, because it sounds like you low-key don't belong here. I know some Warrior fans don't want to hear that. They want to hear just start him. Kaminga's right. But if that's the mentality, not going to lie, it sounds like you really don't belong here, especially if your game isn't going to one-to-one make this team infinitely better. It's going to make the team marginally better, even if people are correct and Kaminga should 100% be starting.
Nigga think he Kawhi.
But it's not going to change but so much because the team is objectively bad. But if the goal right now for some of these players in that locker room is, well, I want to average more PPG and get bread, I don't like that. And if Damo has something to say, he can go. Otherwise, I'll get to the other comment I want to speak on.
No, go ahead. You got it.
I'll say this because someone commented it earlier. What if Kaminga is that good? We talked about this with Zion. I'm gonna be so serious. If the idea at any point in time for anybody in this chat, anybody watching this video, or any Warriors fan out there that doesn't hear this, but I wanna make sure some astrology damages to your brain right now. If any human out here is thinking that the optimal way for the Warriors to start winning more games is to take the ball out of Curry's hands and get more Kuminga touches, whether it's isolations or any way, shape, or form, you're an idiot. I'm sorry to tell you that's just dead ass dumb. But please do not do that. There's other ways, and by other ways, I mean trades. The roster is not good, but by all means, because I'm going to say it again, the narrative for Curry was, oh yeah, he's carrying. Now you want that motherfucker to not touch the ball? If we're being so serious, the only reason the Warriors don't have a little bit more wins, and I love them, Curry low-key ain't, hey, they've been smoking his pack because he can't close this season, and it's actually been true this season. He hasn't been the best closer. So, to be honest, I'ma still die by that motherfucker 30. It seems like we need to get the different people involved, but there is no way that the solution for a lot of people's brain is Kerr's such a bad coach, and you could argue Kerr's overrated. I probably would agree, but he's such a bad coach. Yeah, the solution, take the ball out of Curry's hands, put it in Jonathan Kuminga's. That don't even sound logical. So let's slow down on that.
We were gonna transition into that. I just wanted to tell people, like, your dreams. I understand everybody has a projected timeline. You know, I listened to Damon Stoudemire talk, and they were talking about Amari Bailey hopping into the league instead of like spending another year or two at UCLA to develop. But that's because, you know, people are telling him, hey, your timeline, get into the league now so you can start getting this bread, blase, blase, blah. And I get that. But at the same time, you know, your timeline may not be everybody else's, the powers that be timeline. I don't know if he believes in a higher power, but he could be rocking the boat there. But I don't think, and Damo talked about it with Jordan Poole, I don't think that he understands that the grass is brown on that other side, man. Like, I really can't think of a situation that he could just willingly go to right now and say truthfully, oh, snap, I'm in a better situation. I really, really, really just do not think that is just a 1,000% case out there.
Better
Now,
situation for him or for
him.
Ooh, I might disagree with that because I do think if he were like to go to Toronto, if he were to go to not Detroit, my God, if he were to go, maybe Toronto's the only answer, or any team that really wants to run the pick and roll, then
let me
he'd
be
be
clear.
there.
Let me be clear. Not him individually, because I think that there's a world in which he could go to a bunch of different teams. They up his usage. They up, everything about him having the ball in his hands, and he can put up 25 points per game, shoot 40% from the field or whatever, low 30s from the three, but be okay shooting 25%, and they lose 15 straight. He can do that in a lot of places. I'm talking about an organization that's proven themselves, gotten him a ring, shown that they are willing to win, shown that they are willing to spend, shown that they are willing to back their core guys. You and Moody are the last two that have made it out of that a 4-man young guy group. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are the future of the Warriors right now. Wait.
Very true.
Some what's it called? What else am I gonna address? I'll just address something random. I don't really necessarily have an agenda. Someone's referred me clutch stats. Are we still doing that? All right. Well, I guess we're still doing clutch stats. One, me personally, I'll be honest with you, my boy. I don't give a fuck about no clutch stats. Well, that makes me ignorant or not go for it. But even if we had to just not watch the games, yo, I'm sorry. Curry low key this season has had some turnovers down the stretch. I remember it was one point where a motherfucker on Twitter was going crazy at clipping missed game winners. I'm sorry, they have a lot of close losses on the season, and a lot of the time, I'm gonna be honest, dog. I'm gonna have to look at 30 and be like, yo, you gotta get me out of here more times than not if the game's already close. Now, if you're getting your ass bust, I'm not blaming Steph Curry for that. But I don't know. I thought we retired the idea of certain clutch stats in 2023. I mean, really 2022. But I guess we're still harping on that.